What's up, 49er Faithful? It's your boy Chili Will. Welcome to the 49er Street Squad, man. We are back after 9 days of the biggest game going on in the world. It was the 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, my music, man. I had my music lined up and ready to play for me. Here we go. Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers, Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas, guys. Man, brutal. Mission Impossible 6, which was supposed to happen. I was guaranteeing it. But somehow, some way, it didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. Everybody in the world knows, 49er Faithful, you guys all know that the Niners were lined up for this. This sixth championship was supposed to be ours here in Las Vegas, where we started. We were supposed to finish it in Las Vegas. And guess what? We didn't. Came up short. Very disappointing. Oh, man. But let me bring in my boy, my co-host, my man all the way from Vegas. We got a lot to talk about. But let's bring my man, Niner Rio. Rio!
Chili Will.
How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Well, actually, we've had a good week to kind of recover a little bit from this awful loss. But you know what? This game was a very, tooth and nail fight, man. I mean, this was a battle from the beginning all the way to the end. And I got to tell you, it definitely was doing wonders for my heart, man, because, the high blood pressure, you saw me, right? I mean, I was I needed some water. I couldn't stand the tension. It was crazy. And I was like, man, I can't believe this is happening. Like in my mind, everything I did and what I thought of my control to make this come full tilt, man. I was like, man, we got to get this Super Bowl, man. It's got to happen, and just to see that these guys were just still hanging around fighting. It was like we just couldn't, we couldn't give them the knockout blow, it seemed like. And hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs. These guys, I'm not going to even say it was because they wanted it more or whatever. It was just, hey, they're a great team, and I think we all knew what we were getting with Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. This kid, he's obviously, he's been on the pedestal the last few years. He's been in the Super Bowl the last, 3 or 4 years, whatever. And now he's got a second straight title in a row and came in there at the end. And, he's the man that got it done when he had to get it done, and there's just no overlooking that. There's no we can look at a lot of things, which we will, dissecting this game, but Kansas City, they were the team to beat, and they showed why they are the champions. Coach Reed and all those guys, they came in and did what they had to do, to get that Super Bowl. So I'm not going to sit here. This ain't going to be I don't want it to sound or feel like this show is going to be like a crying fest, because it's not.
Right.
But we do have things to discuss that are concerning. That's all. We're gonna bring up some stuff that I'm sure everybody in the world watching this game, once again, seeing what happened. It was almost almost like a repeat of last Super Bowl against them. And we have to look at the way this whole game was officiated. I don't feel, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree. The referee calling wasn't, how can I say, was very suspect. It was like, wasn't dependable. I mean, like these guys weren't, obviously I could see they were letting them play quite a bit, but man, it was just so many obvious plays where it was like, refs, come on, I know we hey, the Niners, I'm sure got away with a lot of holding calls, whatever too. I'm not going to say we didn't, but there was just so many plays that were just so evidently obvious. I just don't know how refs could not see some of these plays, happening and developing and not get a flag for it, and it just, that's real. That's when I shook my head, bro. I was like, man, we're in trouble. We have the same, the head, at least the head referee. I'm not sure about the rest of the staff, but same head ref guy that was in charge of the last Super Bowl when we saw Kansas City. And right there, that was a red flag. I mean, we talked about it on the show before the game. We were like, hey, Niners going to have to come in. We're going to play a clean game here. We can't have any mishaps. We can't
Right.
have too many of the shoot ourselves in the foot kind of moments, because that's all it takes for once Kansas City, they kind of get that momentum. They start feeling themselves. They start running with it. But this was this was it was a battle. I mean, this was
It
back and
was
forth. I mean, it wasn't really one sided either way. I mean, yeah, we kind of jumped out to let me I have my
it's a
notes here.
10
10
point
point
lead.
lead. We had a 10-point lead, but let's kind of let's try to quickly kind of review and visit this
But
game.
before you do that,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
before you do that,
Okay.
I just want to say um, to the Detroit Lions, to the Packers,
Uh-oh.
to the Eagles, to the Cowboys, to the Ravens, to all the other teams in the NFL. You guys would love to be in our position. Every year, we're relevant. Every year, we're making noise. Yes, we did choke 3 times in the Super Bowl. That's fine. But at the same time, I know for a fact Jerry Jones would give his left you know what to go through what we went through. There's not many football fans out there that get to go through what we go through. Get to experience Super Bowls, get to experience all these NFC championships. Okay? Trust me, you would love to be a part of it. I had the most fun I've ever had, you
Oh,
know,
yes. It was very
with
fun.
the games, with the football games when Chili Will and his family came down to Vegas, my brother down in Vegas, and we partying. We saw Joe Montana. Okay. We were partying, we had fun. All through the strip was nothing but 40, it was like 75% 49er fans.
Faithful to
It
the
was the
Fantastic.
best feeling.
It
I
was.
don't I wouldn't trade it for nothing. All right. You guys were at home early. See all the talk, all the chatter, everybody want to talk. Have fun. I loved it. I had fun.
Hmm.
I couldn't of course I would love for us to win the Super Bowl, but guess what, man? I got to experience my team being on top, being in the headlines and everything. There was no Cowboys. There was no Rams. There was none of them up there. You guys would love to be us. You would love
Yep.
it. I don't want to hear
Yep.
no. I don't want to hear nothing about. Oh man, I'd rather get knocked out than losing. No, no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Hmm.
You would
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. You would be. Chili Will, could you imagine if the Cowboys did what the Niners have been doing? Do you know what the world would say about the Cowboys right now?
Oh, man.
Do you know
Cowboy.
if the
Oh,
Cowboys
oh,
went to four or five NFC championships, 4 NFC championships in a row?
I know.
They damn near called him a dynasty.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So look, I don't want to hear none of that. I enjoyed myself. I love it. We're relevant. It's fun. This is
Yeah.
what it's all about. That was one play. One play. If you think about it, in the last 3 times we went into the to the Super Bowl, it's pretty much 1 to 2 plays that would have got us to where we would have had 3 more Super Bowls. Ain't that
Hmm.
crazy?
Yep.
3 more Super Bowls just from like 1 or 2 plays away from that. So
Yep.
I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
I have fun. Like I really have fun. So I'm 100% good with everything. So I just want to make sure that is known. And Patrick Mahomes, I already said on the last show, he'll go.
Hmm.
I already said that if he wasn't playing the Niners, I would be, rooting for him. I would have had my money on him. I passed up on money because I don't like to bet against my team.
Hmm.
Chili Will had to do it just because he was trying to break a jinx.
I was trying to put a
You know,
curse.
he
The hex.
tried. It almost
I
worked.
tried to
It
put the
almost
hex on
worked.
him.
He
Trying to
tried to
put the
put the
hex on
hex.
him.
You know, we tried.
But you know what? You're right, man. It goes back to like what I say, and I put on back my shirts, and they hate us because they ain't us, man. And
That's it,
that's
man.
the same kind of heat we're gonna get every season. Doesn't matter,
I love it.
And I love it too. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, they want to all these teams, like you said, they want to come back and want to stop backbiting on us. You know what I'm saying? But it's only because it just makes them feel good in their own little personal way. Like, ha, you guys didn't do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, but we beat you,
They're
and we got
relieved.
there by beating you. So you guys don't want to talk about that. Oh, you guys lost. Like you said, I, I, like you said, it was such a wonderful moment being there in Las Vegas
Yep.
with the faithful. We party hard, man. I mean, we were at the Hard Rock Cafe. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen I know there's probably other teams that have their rallies and everything, but you don't have rallies when you got people all pros showing up like Joe Montana, legends like Joe Montana and Jesse Sopulu, I mean these guys showed up to party, man, and faithful just having a great time, having fun, and it was just it was just it just seemed like everybody was just on cloud nine, man. And I think that's why it was just so hard to to see us come up short like this, because this was supposed to be our year. You know what I mean? But yeah, like you said, we knew who we were up against. We knew that if we didn't play a clean game and we weren't careful, we could have got bitten and where. But you know what? The Niners, I think I'm not down on my boys. I feel like the Niners went out there, they played a hard game. They played a tough game, tooth and nail. Both teams, they both went out there. They fought, man. This was a blow by blow. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
never seen, you know what? Like, I had never even seen a Super Bowl game that had that kind of intense,
Yeah.
for both teams. You know
It
what I'm
was
saying?
intense, man.
It was crazy. I mean,
We went down to the last second of overtime.
last second, not really once, but almost twice. If you think about it,
Come
I
on,
mean, that's
man.
what it came down to. Almost, both, in the regular, regular part of the game, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, same thing.
Kansas City's driving down, and they literally only had seconds before they ended up having to kick just to tie it and go in overtime. And oh man, it was hurting. Like I said, the reason why I didn't have the show last week because on Tuesday I flew back from Vegas on Tuesday, so I didn't have enough time to put the show together and get ready. And then of course on top of that, I was going to push it to Thursday last week, and then I caught the cold and everything, so I was not feeling good. Still getting over the bug right now, but feeling a lot better. But I told Rio, I said, man, we gotta get on here and talk about it together, bro. And, talk about this game and everything and stuff. And feel bad I wasn't able to come on last week. So I just want to apologize for that to the faithful out there, who's been really sticking with the 49ers Street Squad and really supporting us, and subscribing, liking the channel and everything. I appreciate the love, seeing a lot of people out there in Vegas showing a lot of love, man. That means a lot, so hats off to you guys. But yeah, like I said, man, there's always going to be haters, Rio.
Always.
We're going to be dealing with it again next year, and that's why. Hey, you know what? That's why after the game, I didn't even bother to put on any of those shows. I didn't want to hear a word they had to say about this game because everything that was coming out of their mouth was just going to be like backbiting again, and it was like, oh, okay, we're just not good enough for this. We ain't good enough for that, and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, whatever. I really don't think any team could have beat Kansas City. Out of the NFC. I don't care if it would be us or anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just how good of a team they were,
we were the best bet. We were the best.
We were the best bet. And when you saw the best two teams in it, it was us and Kansas City. We were the two best, and it was on display Sunday. Because man, but yeah, let's kind of go back and visit the game. First quarter, I was kind of excited because the defense right away come out there. Seemed like they just pounced on Kansas City, punched them in the mouth pretty good. I mean, they went like 3 and out like first couple of times. I was just like, damn, boys on fire. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow.
Defense was looking great. I was loving
everything
it.
was looking great, and then we're making the drive, with about got into about 12 minutes and 29 seconds of the first quarter, and then What happened is what we didn't want to see happen. That's when Christian McCaffrey lost the ball. He fumbles the ball. You
Yeah.
know, and what's kind of a little ironic about that is that I mean they fumbled the ball, which sucked. But I kind of went back watching tape, and some people have been posting this kind of like on Instagram and stuff. But yeah, the one that we know there was a chance we could have got that ball back because my boy Kittle, he made his block on I can't even say the guy's name, but he was number 56, Kanofakis or something like that. And he was the one that actually recovered the ball, but he was the guy that George Kittle had actually blocked, on that play. And they showed it on tape, and it showed like for a minute, George looked like he was like talking, George always got something crazy to say to somebody, right? He always got to say something stupid, and he looked like he was standing there, he was talking, like said something to do, but he was kind of facing the action, what happened and stuff. So that's why he got to jump on the ball where Kittle's back was kind of facing it. So if Kittle would have been a little more aware and might have not been talking so damn much, maybe would have had a good chance to, jump on that. But again, I ain't trying to, this ain't no hate at Kittle. I'm just saying, could have been a heads up play if the man was just paying a little more attention and not running his mouth so much. But hell, that was one of our first turnovers. And of course, we're like, oh God, don't give these guys a chance, man. Let's not do this now. Let's not do this. But, so turn the ball over. Kansas City takes over the ball. They drive down. And I think they didn't go anywhere. They went 3 and out. So we got the ball back. And then, 49 offense gets out there. And then, out of all people, Trent Williams gets called for a couple of penalties. He had a false start. And then he has a holding call on the second play. So that kind of, that was like, it brought us on like, second down and 27. Williams gets that holding call, and then it's like, now Kyle Shanahan even told the referee, he said, listen, he goes, I know my guy held, and I'm not saying he didn't do it, but he goes, those guys are holding a lot, and you need to call it on them too. He said they showed it on it. There was a little film tape. They showed him on the sideline talking to the referee, told him that, he said, I ain't down my boy held, but you know what? Those guys are holding a lot too, but that just fell on deaf ears. Because the refs weren't even trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? They were just like, yeah, all right, whatever. Okay. So, of course, our boys, they do make a run down there. Let's see, near the end of the first quarter, Brandon Ayuk makes the first catch. Oh, this was another fishy thing. I don't know if you saw this reel. Once again, a lot of people are posting this. But what was really crazy is, there was a time when the Niners were driving down through a first down pass to Ayuk. He makes the catch. He runs out of bounds, and the clock was at 1:46.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was supposed to stop.
Yeah.
But just as he marches back on the field, next thing you know, you see the clock starts going again. So by the time the Niners got to the next play and I hiked the ball, it was like 1:14. That means 32 seconds had already went by that we got robbed for. Now, technically, the ball should be like, the clock should stop, right? If someone goes out of bounds with the ball, correct?
Right.
So I'm just kind of curious, like what happened there?
There's quite a few things that was kind
I'm
of
just
weird.
getting this off my chest. I just feel like I just got to get this off my chest because it's been just bugging me, man. Oh man, your boy's here. He's getting a good laugh. Just sit tight. Just sit tight and enjoy this for a minute. Well, we'll get to you in a minute,
But
man, tell me how you feeling when you're watching this go down? In the first half, are you concerned? You're feeling kind of little like, oh boy, what's happening here?
My concern was that I feel like because of that fumble, I'm wondering because of that fumble, did they backed off from the run? Because they didn't revisit the run too much until later on. And I just didn't understand because, like, especially when we got into, I know you talk about the first half, but I'm just saying when we were at the goal line situation, close to the goal line in overtime. And I'm just like, why are you not running more? I didn't understand why we were passing. It just, I don't know. It's crazy. Sometimes I think that Shanahan just overthinks situations, and
Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's just like what goes through these coaches' minds during these key moments. I mean,
hmm
your whole season, CMC has been the man.
right,
Like, why are we not? eh, That's Kansas City's number one weakness.
right.
Why are we not exploiting that?
Well, yeah, but the defense was getting up on the, I know excuse me, I'm trying to say the rushing defense wasn't their strong point, but they were stepping up. I mean, uh, there was times we were trying to run the ball on them, weren't being very successful at it, and
How
they did have
much
their
though?
struggles.
How much? Like, honestly, I just feel like I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough on the run game. We definitely should have ran more, especially since Kittle wasn't doing anything.
yeah. Well, Kittle wasn't doing. They were holding down the receivers. I mean, and I say literally
Debo
holding.
was
But
Debo was all
Debo and
right.
Ayuk were, they were tied up, and they couldn't get the ball off
You
like they
know,
wanted to.
it's just go to the run.
Well, why not mix it up though? Why not get like Mitchell involved or
Something.
what's our other guy, third running back? I mean, you know,
Um, I know who you're talking
hit
about.
him hit him hard with our
Talking
running
about,
game. You know what I'm
Talking about
saying?
Mason. Mason.
Mason, yeah, there you go, Mason. I mean, you haven't seen this guy's face the whole
Yeah.
playoffs really. But all right. Well, you know what? He's waiting patiently. I know he's got a lot to get off his chest, man.
Yeah, yeah. Bring him in, man.
Should we bring him on in? Oh
Yeah, it's
God,
time.
jeez.
Time.
All right, now just
Time.
make sure this is PG-13. So I just want to put that warning out there. Kids, watch your ears here. This fellow, he's you know, Kansas City fan. Here we go. What's up?
Yeah,
Ah,
baby.
jeez. Oh God.
How y'all doing? How
We'd
y'all
be
doing?
we'd be doing
we
better
do,
if the
we
if the
doing
game didn't
great.
have an asterisk on it. But yeah, we all right.
We
Yeah,
doing
all right.
great.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I'm glad y'all hit me up, brought me back. It was nice
Of
seeing
course.
y'all. You know,
We got
it
to.
was great. It was great.
We got.
First and foremost, great game.
Yeah, it
I
was a
don't
great
care
game.
who you are. If you watch this game, you saw a great game, and it's probably one of the most intense games I've seen.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. Now, you just said it was one of the tense games you ever seen. Now, obviously, you've seen Kansas City. They've come back in some great games a lot, and done some really exciting stuff. But watching this Super Bowl and just seeing how this thing was back and forth, I know I was pretty much on pins and needles, especially from the fourth quarter on. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing was just back and forth, and we didn't know who was going to pull this thing out and stuff. But how was your nerves at the time? Did you feel like, oh man, I just know he's going to get it done, or were you pretty relaxed about it? Or were you feeling kind of like, oh damn, that these guys really fighting?
So let me tell you the situation I was in because obviously I'm in the Bay Area. So
Uh
go to
oh.
my friend's house.
All nine.
Niners,
All nines.
Niners. Most of them was Niners. Obviously, sprinkled Cowboy fan here, three Raider fans here.
Uh huh.
Everybody else was all
But you're the
Niners.
only KC.
Only one. I can't. If I had to go shake a KC Chief fan's hand right now, in an hour, I'll be long. I'll be dead if I had to. I couldn't find. I don't know nobody. That's me driving too. I
Uh huh.
can't find nobody. You know what I mean? I ain't counting little kids because they growing up with Mahomes, but adults, I can't find nobody. I know a little kid, but that's it. You know what I mean? So, but while while I'm watching the game, people was looking at me because I'm relaxed. I got my I was relaxed the whole time till I think it was the fourth quarter.
Uh huh.
Fourth quarter. Mind you, I'm like this, I'm chilling.
Right.
Everybody looking at me on plays, they celebrating.
Right. But you didn't
My
start pacing
team,
yet or nothing.
I'm not I ain't paced, I ain't do nothing until I needed to. That's another part. But my nerves kicked in 16, 19.
Uh-huh.
That's when I started feeling it. I was
Oh,
like,
Mm.
okay.
because usually I'm cool as fuck.
Right.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. I'm
Oh,
cool. I'm cool.
PG-13.
Yeah, I'm
All
very
right.
cool. I'm very cool. I'm very relaxed, and I just felt it. To do. I was like, oh, this is the first for me. Because usually I'm like, okay, Mahomes, I have nothing to worry about. I already seen 24-0 come back in the playoffs. I already seen it. I seen it down 10 the other times. I
Mm-hmm.
seen it. So my nerves was my nerve. I relaxed once we got to the overtime. Not even the coin toss. Before that,
Weren't
I
tripping.
was
You
relaxed.
you you felt very confident your boys were gonna get it
Yes,
done.
right when it went to overtime. But before Warner picked the want the ball, to me, people made a big issue off of that. Also, I think it's pointless. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Mm,
matter as much as people put it on. It's score a touchdown or a field
right.
goal. You know the thing. But I was
Let
relaxed
me
at
ask
that
you
point.
this question: now, was you aware of the new overtime rules that was
Thank
happening
you.
with the
That's
Super
what I was
Bowl?
going to talk about.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
Yeah.
mean,
So
you were now. Honestly, so you were completely clear about what was going down with the new overtime rules.
yeah,
Now, the reason
it
why I'm
never
saying this,
happened.
the reason why I'm saying this is a lot of people they're like, man, how did they not know the rules? Well, I knew the rules, man. That rule has not been invoked yet. It
yeah.
has not been used.
It hasn't been used, but
Right.
you
They
know,
put it in place 3 years ago, but it
yeah,
has not been used yet. This is the first time that it would actually be put into effect where it would actually make a difference. So everybody giving that excuse was funny. And number two, what was the big deal about them taking the ball? Why was that so bad? I wasn't mad that they took the ball. I was more
Your
mad.
Niners in overtime.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Niners
yeah,
in overtime.
yeah.
They was like they should have gave the ball to KC first. Let me tell you, I'm not mad that they took the ball first. What I'm mad about is that you get down close to the goal line and you settle for three. You might as well at that point go for the touchdown. Then you got them against the wall if you don't make it.
And better yet, why didn't they call a timeout at that time? Because I felt like they were rushing. You know what I mean? I felt like, hey, Kyle, why don't you call a timeout right here? Because this is like this third and four, whatever. This is really important.
This is big.
This is big. You can still get a first down. Because you're only like 4 yards away getting a first down in goal situation. So if you get the first down, you still can run time off the clock, whatever, run the ball, however. But you probably would have had a better chance to score a touchdown than 3 points. But I just feel like Kyle. I don't know why he didn't do that. I think he should have really gave it some thought about, okay, listen, we're going to have to come up with something a little zesty to throw these guys off because they know we try to run the ball. They all been up on CMC all day. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it would have been hard. They're going to have to come out with a little trickery here or something. But, I just felt like, Kyle just didn't take any kind of action in a
He
really
was he
important
was
part of the
real
game.
conservative. I think in his head he was already we got the field goal. We got the field goal.
Yeah, well,
So
that too, and another thing that he had said, the reason why he did take possession first of the ball, because he said if they were to go downfield and say tie it up, whether it be, well, in
then they
this
get the
case,
third
yeah,
chance.
they would have
So
got the third chance, yeah, to score. So
which
that was the
makes
purpose of
sense.
why he took the first down. However, yeah, you kicking 3 points, Kansas City
That
marching down
kills it.
there,
That kills it right there.
you give them that,
McDuffie,
yeah.
McDuffie.
Oh no, I got a problem with McDuffie, man. No, that guy.
What's your problem?
You want to see my problem, McDuffie? I got it.
Yeah.
I got it right here. I'm gonna show you. I had saying this one.
He got it
Here's your
queued
boy
up.
McDuffie right there. Oh, whoa! Look at that hold on that left arm in the end zone.
Mm.
Should have been a flag right there, but
Mm.
no,
That's something
no.
Deion Sanders would
That,
do.
the ball, no. He's got a grab. He's got a good little grab of the left arm, and if you actually watch the rest of the play, he's actually pulling it down. Even though he's got his he's looking back trying to play the ball at the same time. But see, he's got a good grab on Debo's arm right there. That wasn't called. Again, asterisk.
There was,
Duffy,
hey,
I don't
You
know
know
how he's
what,
getting away with that. And that was only one. There was another one. He actually grabbed Debo and didn't
Mar?
get called. And he finally got busted when he in overtime against when we were like third
Yeah,
down at 13. And Jennings, when Purdy threw the ball, I think they batted it down or something. But Duffy had a hold on Jennings. He had a grab on him. I go, wow. He had the same kind of grab on worse on Debo early in the game. They never called that one, but they called that one. So
Mar. I'm not even going. I'm not even
tainted.
going to trip off all the holes and everything because we all know that people get held every game and all that. So
I
I'm
know,
not even
man.
going to
I
trip
gotta
off.
stir the pot a little bit, though. Come
We
on.
go. We no. I understand because we can nitpick the whole game, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about, for me, the two crucial things I'm mad about is that we needed to run more, and then we did not take advantage of that in the overtime when we were right there, go for the touchdown. I'd
Mhm.
rather you take that chance and go for the touchdown and then play defense with their back against the wall right there and see what happens. I have no problem with that. Zero. But
Yeah.
you're gonna take three and then give Mahomes the chance to
Yeah.
go score a touchdown? Never.
Yeah.
Never would
I have
I
to agree.
have to go for the
You're right.
touchdown.
Either go for it or die
Yeah,
from it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's
That's
like, yeah,
it.
you don't give this guy any kind of chance.
That's
You know.
all, man. That's my two gripes. Other than that, man, I'm good, man. I enjoy the game. I have fun. Like I said earlier before you came on, Mar, I know a bunch of teams in the NFL that would love to be in the Niners position, especially the Cowboys. You know what I mean? They would love to have been into 4 NFC championships and all that. They would damn near call Cowboys a dynasty if they did that shit.
Well, they are.
So I don't even want to hear all the talk, about the 49ers. So that was that was the best. Like, honestly, that was like the best game I've watched, best Super Bowl I've watched. Man, I can't even think of nothing better other than us just blowing out a team when we beat the Chargers, back in the days for our last Super Bowl. But because that was just fun, just watching all the touchdowns. But this right here, man, getting to experience that and having all the Niner faithful around, and we in Vegas and we going crazy.
Yeah, you look. I saw you. I was like, okay, you look like you're having fun out
Oh
there.
yeah, it was
Yeah, there
fun,
you
man.
go.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
definitely.
Let me
But
ask
you
you
know
this
one
question. Oh, go. Oh,
one
go
thing
ahead.
though about that rule, the reason why I'm familiar with it is because it was implemented when we beat the Bills.
Right. It was
Right.
it was it
They're
was
complaining
it's
that
because of Mahomes that the
yeah,
the, the
because
rule was made.
Brady, when he beat the Chiefs, Mahomes was on the sidelines and he didn't get a chance. And when the Chiefs brought it up, it wasn't an issue. Nobody cared. And then the
Yep.
next year when we beat the Bills,
Then they made it.
oh, Josh Allen was on the side. They made a big deal. Oh, that was the
How
first
come I didn't
little
get a chance
hate.
to get out there and play?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so I remember it when it was implemented, and I remember the Super Bowl. So the Chiefs, they knew about the rule
Of
because
course.
they dealt with it, and they're part of the reason why it was changed to begin with.
Right.
So I understand when people say, "Oh, they didn't know about the rules." Like, yeah, because you didn't experience why it was implemented.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think, man, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. Man,
Mm-hmm. It
know
was a
know
well
where it
played
was
game.
though. Yeah, where it was the whole game. It ain't like where I could say I can't say uh my team beat that ass. I can't. Oh, my bad. My team beat y'all. Stomped on y'all. I can't say that. I could say Andy Reid did that because it was a game about. It was a chess game.
It was.
It was a game of chess, and he could say, "I beat that," and whatever he could say that. But the players, they was playing hard the
They were.
whole thing. I
Yeah, both
understand the
both
running.
both ball clubs definitely gave it their 110%. Real.
Yeah, they
I have
did.
this question for you, Real.
Okay.
As far as the Niners, who do you feel is the reason why our team why we lost? Like, who do you hold accountable? Who do you hold the blame for this loss, or if you do?
I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. And I don't want him to be fired or nothing. It's Shanahan, and 100%. And on top of that, and I want to add on to it, I feel a way about him firing Wilkes.
Really?
Yeah, I really feel away because this was a good year
Hmm.
for Wilkes. He didn't do nothing wrong. He wasn't the cause of us losing the Super Bowl. He was not the cause.
Mm.
In my opinion, he was not the cause. The way the Niners have been playing defense throughout the playoffs, okay, we got through that. He played better defense in the Super Bowl than he did in the last two for us to get to the Super Bowl, right? So the Super Bowl wise, it wasn't the defense. We got to pick on Mahomes. So what? I mean, what? Why? I don't understand why he was fired.
Hmm.
Look at his numbers. Look at his numbers. There's no way that you fire him 1 year going to the Super Bowl 1 year, and it's a great year that he had, and you fire this man. That's wrong.
That's
I
right.
have an issue with that, and I have a gripe with that, and I'm standing by it. I don't like it at all. And like I said, I believe it's 100% on Shanahan, strictly because those two things that I talked about. He didn't run enough. That's not a defense problem, and he didn't go for it to try to get a touchdown in overtime. That's not a defensive problem. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, they didn't stop them with Mahomes coming down in overtime. But who's going to stop Mahomes in overtime? That's the reason why you should go for it. Mahomes is a different beast when it comes to those type of situations, and we know that. We have seen it time and time again. It doesn't matter what defense you're playing. This dude's brain is on another level. So you're supposed to be more aggressive.
Hmm.
Period. So you don't use him as a scapegoat. Now, who are we going to get to replace him right now? Who are we
Yeah,
going to
well,
get?
they're in the works and talks of that. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
last thread I read is that they did have somebody in that was they've been looking at and talking to, but they didn't say who yet, so they haven't announced it. But I think somebody might be uh, they might be
I
getting
think it was
somebody
a
cleared.
personal issue, to be honest with you.
You know what?
It's a
I
It
have
was
personal.
a
to say
personal
this,
issue.
okay? And I feel what you're saying, Rio, and I agree. But I'm a little more like I love Steve Wilkes. You know, I love what he brought to this organization and team as the defensive coach. You know, but I think it's something. I think for Kyle though, it goes back a little more personal because we look and only people going to know about this is us because we follow the Niners. You know, the whole season, so we know what happened during early part of the season when they kind of fell off there. Defense really wasn't there for us against the Minnesota Vikings game, you know, and then
Right.
there was the issues we had, of course, with Cincinnati, which was really big, and then the whole situation about how Kyle wanted him to come down from the
Right.
box
Right.
down to the
That's why I
field and
feel
all
like it was
that, you know,
personal.
right? Well, I'm sure it was, but you know what? In this game, I just felt there was about three golden opportunities. And again, I'm not trying to pin this all a defensive thing because it was to me it was a whole team loss. You know, from head coach Kyle Shanahan, everybody, right? But we were in a situation not once but twice where if we'd have just as a defense did what we had to do to shut Mahomes down, which is a hard task, like you said, because Mahomes is who Mahomes is, right? I mean, the guy's dynamite. But I don't know how many times there was a situation where we had them like even on let's just take the last drive when they were going downfield, we had them at 4th and 1 at one point. And
Hmm.
I don't understand why Steve Wilkes would have this defense place. Sometimes he was playing this like sort of like this medium soft kind of zone where he was giving up like 5-8 yards with these guys, you know, instead of playing man to man, which was being more effective. And he kept getting away from that. I don't know why they were consistently not being man to man, you know, and especially it was 4th and 1. Now, you know, and I know there's only two people most likely they're going to get this ball to get this first down because they obviously went for it and it was either going to be Mahomes or something Kelsey was going to do, one of the two.
Right.
And, you know, Mahomes, I think he did the fake handoff, you know, but then he ran to the right, had that big gap opening and, of course, squandered on up there. And I kind of thought, wow, really? You know what I'm saying? And again, for them to just march down on the field on us, you know, and like I said, we've had them at like 3 and something, you know, 4th down before, and we just couldn't stop them. And I think, you know, I'm a defensive guy. You know, I'm a kind of guy that believes you got to have a good defense. That you know, defense wins championships. You know, you got to have a defense that go out there and put a stop stronghold on somebody, you know what I'm saying, and stop them. And early in the game, you can see with the Niners throughout the game, actually, they held them a lot of time 3 and out. You know what I'm saying? So they did their job, but when we really needed it to happen, and we go back to the fourth quarter when we kicked and got the extra 3 points ahead, then they had to come back downfield at the end, right? And they ended up tying it up, but they drove right down on us again. Because why? We played a soft zone. They got away from man-to-man again. I'm going like, why are they doing this? I don't get it. Like, it's like, why are you going to play soft thinking you're going to get all scared that he's going to throw the ball deep on you? Just keep playing man-to-man like you've been doing, because that was being more effective than him playing soft zone. So, to me, that was the one thing that stuck out that bothered me about the defensive calling. And again, Steve Wilks, I don't know, was this plan or whatever? I don't know. I'm not, because who knows who was talking and saying what. But, I just thought that wasn't good gameplay for our defense, especially at a time in a moment when we really needed to stop these guys, we couldn't do it because we were playing always this kind of soft defense, this 5 to 8 yard defense on these guys, the zone. I don't know why they were doing that when man-to-man was what was really helping them and help putting pressure on, making it harder for Mahomes to get a lot of pass plays off,
So you're putting it on the defense?
I'm putting it on the defense.
So you think so?
But I'm not saying no that Steve Wilks should have been fired for it. I didn't see that coming. But I just feel that defensively we had multiple opportunities where we had them, like we literally had them.
Oh yeah.
But we let them slip through because we, like there was like no time. At 4th and 1, no timeouts being called. To like Steve Wilks to say, okay, listen, this is what we got to look out for, or whatever. They're 4th and 1. Either this is going to happen or that's going to happen. You know what I mean? But they all got faked out by that fake run, to the left or whatever. Holmes keeps it. I'm not saying, hell, they probably could have had a timeout. Don't mean that they were going to stop it, But I don't know. I just think they got away from something that was working at times where they went to the soft zone stuff and it just didn't work, and we gave up a lot.
You know what? I just want to say this with your guys' defense. There's a couple things I want to bring up. Wilks got done dirty. What Shanahan could have said was like, I took the blame. This had nothing to do with the defense. All the other defensive coordinators got jobs elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it ain't like the offensive lineman just missing Chris Jones and letting him just get touched that easy. McDuffie. Purdy doesn't do no audibles. Purdy, he does. It's the system that's based on whatever Shanahan wants to do. Motion, confuse everybody. Purdy does. He still has his leash on. It ain't like he could call audibles and call offensive line be tighter to the right.
Well, he's called audibles before though.
Yeah, before,
but not in this case in the game. But he did. He has done it.
And what separated y'all from the other Super Bowl? I mentioned it last time. Y'all front four was better in 2019.
It was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Way better. I say way better. And what y'all messed up on was playing so wide and letting the lane be open. That 3rd and 1, when Mahomes ran that 3rd and 1 and just went straight up, they were so worried about what he could do outside. They did that all game.
Yep, exactly.
All game, outside rush to contain the outside. Didn't want him to get let loose, but he was letting loose going up in the middle. And that part was just there all game. All game. No spy. They didn't care about his legs. His legs came into it got y'all in trouble late in the game when y'all wasn't even thinking about it. Y'all wasn't thinking about his legs, just his arms.
And I think that's where we kind of missed our boy Greenlaw a lot. Unfortunately, he, popped his Achilles, because you notice when he got hurt, the first guy that noticed he got hurt was Mahomes. He said, "Hey, 57 went down. I think he's hurt." And he's the one guy that sounded pretty damn excited to know he was hurt.
Of course he would be.
Because he was all over the place, you know what I'm saying? And losing him really did,
Fred knew. Fred knew. Fred,
Excuse me.
Fred depends on Greenlaw.
Oh
He
yeah,
got the middle up.
that's right
He
hand
depends.
guy. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, no,
man.
without a doubt. And so that was definitely like a blown tire for us, man. It was, to lose him, but but hey, next man up, you know what I'm saying? And I still feel the team did I mean, the Niners team still did a great job. They still made a game of it, and like I said, it was back and forth, and it just came down to like, who's gonna deliver at the end.
Yeah, it's just the better team won, though.
Yeah, he did.
that's what's
I
gonna
you
happen.
can't
The better
deny that.
team won. Better team won, and you just top to bottom salute the Spags. I got the game going on right now. Salute the Spags. The
Yeah. Hey,
Spags is
he
the good.
even had some compliments for Brock Purdy, because he was like, "Wow." He said, "I didn't know this kid really had what he had in him, until he saw how he was tearing apart his defense." He was like, "Well, I got to change some things."
Yeah.
And that's what a good coach does. You got to make adjustments. You know what I mean, and see what you're up against, and see what's hurting you and
I
what's
said it. Disguising those blitz. We're gonna show you different
Mhm.
looks.
Yeah, and he
And,
did.
that McDuffie blitz. Him hiding behind. Man, I forgot who
Yeah.
he was hiding behind. He just came. Whoop.
But I still just can't understand, like, on plays like this, like, how can they miss a face mask call right there on Bosa, and a holding call on friggin' right there, right next to him? There's a hole right there. I mean, that's two
You
penalties right there. I mean, like,
know
what
they
do
got
So
what do you
two.
Mark,
guys what do you
There's
guys
holding
have
plays
on
on the
these? What
Niners
do you guys
too,
have
right?
on these referees?
no,
Like, are
it
you
did.
holding like the hostage or something?
Mar, no, Mar,
Yes,
how do
sir.
you feel? How do you feel about that referee crew? I mean, that Super Bowl crew was kind of suspicious, ain't it?
Um,
And those are just two pictures I had. I got
That that
you know
there's
crew,
what?
eight of, there's eight
that
of them I
crew,
could have
They,
showed you.
that crew is
they,
very pro KC.
Yes,
You know that, right?
mm,
I really think this. I
nah,
really,
I think they let the boys play because there's holding plays I could point out to. Illegal
There is.
man downfield when y'all did that trick play. Illegal man downfield. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? I don't need to bring it up because I know the final results.
Yeah.
But
It
they
goes
let
both
people
ways.
play.
right.
It goes
It
both
goes
ways.
both
There's
ways.
plays
But
that they missed.
it was kind of leaning more towards KC though.
Mm,
It just it's not wasn't that the same head referee, Chili Will that was in
Yep. Oh yeah, same guy in 2019, man.
yeah, same
Run the
guy
show
2019
on the
that F
payroll.
that effed us over.
It just
So
comes.
I knew that what we had to do. So this is one thing that I want to say too, and I'm happy that we just talked about this. No, this is important because for the first time, I could honestly say that Vegas had nothing to do with this. You know why? Because Vegas lost big money that weekend because
Yeah, they did.
everybody was betting KC. And I told everybody, everybody's betting KC. So the Niners is the better bet. And that's why Vegas made the Niners the favorite so that the picking KC would be more enticing. Everybody was money line KC because you get more money,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Instead of picking the spread, why would you pick the spread? You're gonna get plus money with KC on the money line. And also the under saved the Vegas a little bit, but because they barely went under by half a point,
Hmm.
right? Because it was 47.5.
Whew.
But what I'm saying is that for the first time, Vegas didn't make that call. They didn't
Mm,
make that call. You would think this at any time they should make that call, it would have been right there. Because I
yeah.
tell you right now, Vegas lost money. It was in the news out here.
Wow.
Vegas lost money
What?
because
What? How much they
everybody
talking?
was
How much?
KC.
How much they talking? They
I,
lost.
for, I forgot the number, but they
Kind of
lost.
crazy. That'd be
They lost
billions.
because everybody was KC.
Charlie, all
Everybody that
right.
I seen when I was on the poker table, when I was walking around, people who were not KC or Niner fans, they was like, we want Niners to win, but we can't bet against Mahomes. So I'm sorry, I got my money on KC. Everybody, sorry, I got my money on KC, but I want y'all to win. Everywhere I went, that was the story. And when I looked at the numbers on my apps, It was pro KC. So at least I guess the fix wasn't in. So I feel good that it was more of a
Fix was in,
straight
but it
up.
didn't work.
I didn't expect Mahomes to have what 333 yards passing. I didn't expect that.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
I did not.
damn near
I did
400
not.
yards offense with
I would have
legs.
picked the under on that. I would have picked
Mm.
the under on that. That was crazy.
Yeah, I thought he would have like 260. I thought he would have like Purdy's numbers.
Mm.
Purdy had like what 230 or something like that.
No, he had 250s on. I think.
250. Yeah, I thought he would have something like that.
Yeah.
And, I didn't expect the 330, and I expected the legs. That was the one thing why I wasn't super stressed because he didn't get the legs wasn't accounted for. Like what I said about Lamar Jackson, his arm is trash.
You know what?
His legs is worth this.
26 yards was the bet in Vegas. 26 over and under 26 yards.
Dang.
For him to run.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew it was going to be more than that.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was going to be late in the game.
But he did it early though. He knocked it out early.
Yeah, but I didn't know he was going to go off.
Yeah, he went more off later, but yeah,
that was like an extra 50 yards in the fourth.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then Kelsey's bet was 76 yards over and under. Right? And that was looking juicy for the under. Yeah. And this dude ended up getting 90-some yards. How did that happen?
Hey, Greenlaw went down, dude. That's when he was like all over the place. That was he started coming on that the fourth quarter and on. Now he couldn't stop him.
He ran the fastest he ever ran since
49ers had a stronghold on him the whole game. That's why he was all flustered. Got all up in Reed's face.
Oh yeah, he was pissed.
He had him worked up, and then once Greenlaw was out the game, hey, that changed everything.
I'm curious. I'm very curious. What would have happened if they would have locked down Kelsey and the Niners won the Super Bowl? What would have been the talk? I would love to hear the talk about that interaction between him and Reed. Because he got in his face, almost knocked Reed down, whatever. It was looking crazy.
Well, they just played it off like
now they flipped.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
That's my guy. Yeah, he was
just excited. He just wanted to be in the next play.
If you looked at it though, when he came, Travis went up to him, and he was in his face. Reed's looking at the field, and Reed doesn't even look at him when he's going away. He's just paying attention to the game.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
He's all right. Yeah, you came to me. Yeah, whatever.
By the way, he was like, calm down.
Like he says, let your personality show. When Mahomes said it also, let your personality flow. Hey, show. I understood. Travis Kelce, I like how he gets people riled up.
Hey, his passion, he came through with it. I mean,
he's a baller, man.
He came through. He was pissed off. He needed the ball more, and he proved himself. He got the ball more, and he took care of business. I wish that some of our guys did that. To be honest with you,
but I think y'all couldn't have. Like, look what Kittle's. I hate the comparison to him to Kelce because it's not fair. Because
the size difference.
The size. Kittle's is faster. He's stronger, but he's blocking. He's not letting loose. Ayuk shut down, wasn't getting looks. Debo shut down, didn't get looks.
Hamstring.
Yeah, all three of them, they didn't produce. Jennings,
no, they didn't.
Jennings wasn't even brought up all year.
Yeah.
And you know who I liked on the Niners?
But you know why they couldn't get loose though, right, Mar? You know why?
Because you got an all-pro corner. You got Chris Jones.
You got all-pro. You got a bunch of all-pro holders is what you got. I mean, these guys are grabbing everybody. How can you make a route? Hey, Jennings went to cut in, and then when he went to break out, his homeboy has his arm on his waist. Can't even get loose.
Trent. I love Trent.
Got that call.
Trent was getting put on his back. The big boss man of the NFL, everybody feared. He was getting put on his back. He wasn't getting held. That's why McCaffrey only had 3 yards per carry. I heard the running game. Y'all should have. No, it's dope. In the Super Bowl, the writers, everybody, they already know because they talk to the coaches. We want to run the ball 30 times.
Yeah.
If y'all probably would have ran the ball 8 more times, the game probably could have been different.
You're absolutely correct.
At the moment, McCaffrey was sitting on 3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And that was his stat for the whole game. And I was worried about that motion that y'all was doing all first half and that y'all abandoned in the second half, which is why Shanahan should have been fired because he didn't stick to his guns.
I'm still stick to. I don't want Shanahan to be fired, but I'm blaming
Shanahan
him for the
is
loss.
great. I'm
blaming
mind.
him for the loss, Chili Will. I'm blaming him for the loss.
But he quit.
Head coach, he holds a lot of.
No, but I'm just saying, I don't want him fired, but I'm blaming him for the loss. I don't believe that any of our coaching staff should be fired. But Shanahan
got a job somewhere else.
Shanahan made some big mistakes, man.
Yeah.
He made some crucial mistakes.
49 faithful feel the same. And faithful, if you're hearing this, how do you feel? Do you feel Kyle's to blame once again for this Super Bowl loss, a second Super Bowl, for not delivering the goods?
Third.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
because he was the offensive. They give it to him too,
coordinator,
but they still give it to him.
I know it hurts.
Yeah, when you hold a head coach title, though, you know.
You're right. We'll say 2. We'll let him off the hook.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, one thing where it's like he is to blame, but I hate to say it just to be so simple. It's just like, fuck, like, damn, Mahomes is just different.
He is.
He's just different. And to me, he's the most talented quarterback I've ever seen with my own eyes.
Period.
Obviously, there's better runners. Vic, Randall Cunningham. There's better runners.
I don't even care about that.
Yeah,
the combo that he does.
You can see his brain's always working. You know, you get that little flicker going on, like, okay, we got to do this.
You don't want this. You don't want this.
Right? Yeah, you know, it's like he's thinking ahead. Next play,
he's going to his Rain Man. He going to his Rain Man mode. You know what I mean? he start counting cards and stuff. He's like, okay, touchdown.
Yeah,
like what?
He's reading the defense, thinking what he's going to do.
You know what? That's why I tell you, I mean, you know, to be the best, you got to beat the best, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I was like, okay, we got to go in there, we got to get it done. But I'd be lying if I said, man, I didn't want to see you guys, because I picked Kansas City from Jump Street, like I do every year. Yeah. Kansas City, till someone could dethrone them, you know. But when it came when the Ravens were coming along, I thought,
No, you never trusted the Ravens. So
that's true.
So
I would rather
so don't even lie about it. You
Ravens
never
would have issues
he called the Ravens choking.
Yeah, because of Holmes though. That's why I knew they weren't going to get past him.
Yeah.
But I would have rather see the Ravens instead of Mahomes. At least I think we would have had a better chance.
Nah, I don't think y'all would have.
I don't know, really? Man. I feel like our matchup. Something funny about our matchup, man.
Yeah, y'all match up better against us. Y'all have. I
feel like that matchup.
I think Ravens legs lets him bootleg out and lets him work.
I would love to have seen it. I would love to have seen it, but I felt more confident about going against the Chiefs. I did. But even though I knew that the Chiefs, we had that possibility, but I was putting it all on our defense. The funny thing is, I said, if we get one interception off Mahomes, we're going to win this game, and that didn't happen. And that's what let me know.
No, we did get an interception.
We got, but we didn't win the game. I said, if we got the interception, we were going to win the game, and that didn't happen. And I'm like, this dude is the GOAT. Because I feel like any other quarterback, that interception would have rattled them. They would have been done deal.
Oh, I said this though, Rio, right? Then I say at the end, I said, well, it's not our guy, Brock Purdy, man. Got to prove that he's the man. Because this is what it comes down to right here. That last drive. You know what I said? I was like, he either going to get it done and he going to be on the mountaintop, or something happens, you know.
No, I'm not blaming Purdy though.
Oh no, I'm not blaming him too. I'm just saying, this was his golden moment. I'm saying he had a chance.
But he needed the coach to give him.
He was the man. You know what I'm saying?
Him to be.
Right,
They didn't allow him. You know what I mean?
Shanahan thought Purdy was Mahomes. He shouldn't have thrown the ball almost 40 times. Was it 39 times? He,
Yeah.
the Chiefs
He
defense did the same thing that we did to Lamar. Hey, you're gonna beat us. You're gonna beat us passing.
Mm-hmm.
and I know for
You're
a
gonna have
fact
to
that
pass it.
he threw more in this game because my fiance won a parlay based on attempts. She picked the over on attempts
Wait,
on
whose
Mahomes.
fiance?
My fiance.
Oh,
She picked the over on attempts for Mahomes and Purdy, and she picked something for CMC as well. But yeah, that's how she ended up winning.
wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh boy.
Actually, I think she picked the over. I think it was a 4 pick, and one of them was she picked the over on Kelsey's yards too. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what it was. 50. She did over 50 on Kelsey
Mm.
for the receiving yards. But so I was watching the attempts, and Brock Purdy did a lot of attempts,
Yeah.
so
Too
he
many.
was passing a lot. I
Yeah.
was watching
Hey, he
the
didn't. You know what? He didn't have problems really moving the ball on
he
Kansas City
didn't he
defense.
didn't have a lot of problems moving the ball, and
However, he
he
just
didn't
couldn't get the
and then he didn't have
touchdowns we
there was a
needed.
couple passes he did over
But
he
that
did
was all rush.
Yeah, but he had
yeah
pressure.
Chris
Yeah, he had
Jones.
pressure
got
in the thing.
pressure yeah.
Chris Jones was in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
He had the heat on him.
I'm
Chris
good
Jones.
with Purdy.
Oh yeah,
100% I'm
he's
good
definitely the
with
guy they
Purdy.
need to build on. Now, let me ask you this real quick because we're coming up on an hour. But of course, now the last week, now the season's over and everything. Brandon Ayuk's contract is up, and
Yeah.
are you hoping real that Niners be able to keep
Yes,
Ayuk?
we
Or
have to. We have to. Because what's the replacement? Because let me tell you, Brandon Ayuk is our number one receiver,
yeah,
point blank.
1,300
I
yards.
agree.
He's our number one receiver. So yeah, Debo's important, but he's not our number one receiver. But he produces a lot of other yards and the run after the catch. But the person that's going to go out there and catch that long ball,
Mm-hmm.
that's Ayuk. We need that. While they, on Debo and stuff like that, we lose him. What do we got?
Yeah,
What do we have? We have to have that trio that we have, or the 4 people that we have are very important. The CMC, of course, Kittle, of course, Debo, and then Ayuk. Those are the 4 key components to our offense, period. Of course, Brock, I'm not counting him because he's just the quarterback. But I'm saying as far as who he's connecting with. You lose Ayuk, oh man, come on now. We're in trouble, man.
Y'all should make a
that doesn't
decision
make
like the
good
Chiefs
business.
did.
Yeah,
We made a decision trading Tyreek Hill. If we didn't
yeah,
trade Hill,
And
we
y'all had
wouldn't
some
have
trades
Nick.
that worked out great for you too.
Yeah,
That counts.
we had some great pickups, great
Mm.
draft picks
yeah.
because of that trade. And I would
Pay
trade
him
Debo.
or trade him.
I would trade him
But
to get pieces.
I would pay him.
I
I
would
would
pay
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 him
him.
too.
Ayuk
I
needs to
honestly
get
don't
pieces.
think he's going to go anywhere, to be honest with you. But it would take something really big if the Niners were to let him go. But what would the Niners get in return is the question. But
That's it.
I honestly don't see it happen. I think not to say that
Unless we
the
get
Niners,
Marvin Harrison
not,
Jr.,
yeah, not,
which not happening,
yeah, but
I'm good right now.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think the Niners can afford
I
to
don't. I think
let
you
him
could
go.
trade Debo for a first
Hey,
round.
man, don't talk about trading Debo, man.
No, you can't
I would
find
trade
another
Debo.
player like Debo out there. There's no player
I'm not
like him out
trading
there right
Debo.
now.
I'm
That's what
not
they said
trading.
about Hill. Can't find another Tariq Hill.
But
We
that's
did it.
different. You can't
I
find
know.
another Mahomes.
No, no,
Mahomes
no,
is
no, no.
bigger than Hill. Mahomes is bigger than Hill.
Yeah,
Hill
exactly.
is better than
You could get
Debo.
other players around.
Hill is
Like
better than Debo.
yeah, that's fine. As far as a route runner, catcher, whatever, and speed, yes. But as hard as Debo works, he's invaluable to the Niners. What I'm talking about with Mahomes proved that he could do it with a subpar offense.
Twice, back to
Okay.
back years.
That's why he's a GOAT. That's why 4 games into his first year starting, I said that's the greatest quarterback to
Oh,
ever
hold up.
play
Was
the
that
game.
was that that was against y'all, right?
It's
That
four
game.
Four
Yep.
games, I'm saying.
His fourth game. His fourth
Yeah.
game was against Young, I think. And he did that when he was getting rushed and he zigzagged and he threw that touchdown. I think it was to Robinson in the back.
Yeah.
That's
I
when I was a Mahomes believer.
yeah, that's
The
it.
first game he had 4 touchdowns. I was like, okay,
After
Yeah.
Bosa holding, anyway.
If I wasn't such a big Niner fan, I would already have a Mahomes jersey. Put it like that. That's how much, as far as a QB, because I love QBs. He is hands down the greatest QB that I will ever see in my lifetime. I know it for a fact. I don't see anybody surpassing him. Okay,
at
so
all.
all I could wish for is something crazy happen in the AFC and somebody knocks this dude out as far as knock him out the playoffs so that we could go face somebody else. If we do have to face him, cool. Let's just pray that he has the worst game that he has, of his career. But at the end of the day, I give that man everything. I mean, he's for real.
So,
He's a
so is
goat.
it? So does it seem
He's
like
gonna pass Jordan.
Kansas City? They trying to make Kansas City the next dynasty run team
Yeah,
here.
they are. They
Patriots?
are going
They
to
are.
be. There's not even a question about that. They are.
Well,
You
the
guys are in a
Niners
good
are
position.
the Niners are favored to win Super Bowl next year.
I understand. I
The
understand
odds
that,
right
and I
now are
and I
looking pretty good for us. So
and it's still. I'm not saying we can't win. I'm just saying that
what if
in
we?
order for us to win, we got to have a bigger cushion. We got to take bigger chances. We can't just be
Yeah, but
cool with 3 points. Do you
like
remember
Mark
when we
said
were
though,
watching the game?
we got to build up our front line though. Our defensive tackles.
Hey,
You
Chase Young, he was
Man,
good.
I mean nothing against Armstead because that's my
Chase Young.
boy.
No,
Chase
Chase Young.
Young, I don't know. He's gonna
He
have.
got to go.
Yeah, he might
He
have
got
to
to
go.
go. No,
But
he
I mean,
got.
like Hargrave and Armstead, I love these guys. With all my heart. They're two ballers, definitely. But they even came into this game a little banged up. But not to say that they all what they bring all year to this team is you're never going to replace guys like that. But we need to beef up that defensive tackle line because if anything happens to one of those two again during the regular season, then guess what? That's just going to put us down. We got to really rebuild our line. We got to rebuild. We still got to find another good pass rusher on the other side of Bosa and also offensive line, the right side. That was always the issue I called from day one in the beginning of the season. I said I'm keeping my eye on that offensive line, the right side, and our cornerbacks.
The right side has always been the problem.
Yeah, and so we got 11 picks coming up. So the San Francisco 49ers, they got to, get
Y'all
some
got
good
11
picks.
picks in the
We have
draft.
11 picks in the draft finally. And we finally got a first round pick this year. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Man, I would give up 5 of them picks to get to the top 3. Greg, I would give up 5 of
We
them
got to
picks
get
to
ourselves, we got to
You
get
guys got a
ourselves
lot.
some
That's a
good.
lot.
We need to, if we could grab a nice premium receiver, or even wait, that cat from Ohio State, the tight end, he's in the draft.
From Ohio State?
Yeah, because if he is,
I
that'll
don't
be a
know.
nice guy to
We're
have.
gonna have to do another show, get together. We're gonna do a draft show, talk some
Yeah,
prospects and
we
stuff.
got to do something, because I tell you right now,
I'm not really on my draft pick. Some I know, but not everybody.
I've been on college this year. This is one of my rare years that I got back on college. It's been a long time.
Because of Deion Sanders.
Well, yeah, Deion Sanders, I'm not gonna lie, brought me back to college.
He
But
did
then
too.
when I got in though, I started learning about all the teams again. So it was deep. I made a lot of money on college this year. And Ohio State has this tight end. This big white boy. He was the number one dude. Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. And I tell you right now, boy, woo wee. Marvin Harrison and that dude, if we could get that tight end just to groom him for, when Kittle starts to go, that'd be nice. Or even just to have the dual tight end. You remember back in the days when,
You guys would be great with a 2 tight end set.
do you remember
That
the
would be great.
Patriots with Aaron stab you up and Gronk? They had both of them together, Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. That was beast.
Yeah.
That dude tight end is,
Daniel running. They blocking too.
they blocking too. That dude would be amazing. So if the Niners could pull some crazy stuff up to bring themselves up high, because there's a lot of QBs in the draft, so there's going to be a lot of QBs being picked in the top 10 pick, right? And then the receivers as well. But if we could sneak in and get that tight end, Keep an eye out. Remember, I talked about. Here's another prediction.
What's his name again?
I gotta find his name, man. I can't
Oh,
remember it right now, but I just
Ohio State tight end.
just look
All
for
right.
the number one
I'll
tight
look
end,
him up.
Ohio State. Trust
Y'all
me.
really don't need nobody, really. I will get an
Oh, yeah,
offensive
we do.
lineman, a right
We need
guard, and a
some, we
right
need,
Right.
tackle.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, we need a
Right.
Right guard, right tackle.
right
Yeah.
guard, right tackle. Yep.
And then
Those
we'll
are
be
the two
good.
spots right there, and some more defensive line help, man,
Yeah.
and a defensive
That's
end.
what all teams should do. I don't know why they don't though. Like
I
if
know.
I think every year teams should be drafting 2 defensive linemen or 2 offensive linemen every year.
They're the hardest spots to like really fill. I mean, to find
Mhm.
good players at.
Yeah,
But
you
with
can
that
find a
said,
good
guys,
person.
we gotta wrap this thing up, man. Mara, it was great to have you back on, brother, man. Congratulations to your boys.
All day,
Let's keep the
all
violence
day.
down on your next parade.
Well,
Unfortunately, I had to
hey,
hear some pretty bad news about
That
that.
was some young. That turned out to be some gang banging
Was
stuff.
it?
You know that? Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know.
I was just praying it wasn't no
bad.
49er fans, man, doing
Yeah,
no dumb stuff.
yeah, exactly.
That's all I
It's
cared
always
about.
sad. It's always sad to hear any of that stuff going
Yeah.
on. So
They were
I'm
actually
pray
disappointed
for
in
those
y'all
folks.
fans too. Some of y'all
Pray for
Niner
those
fans
folks.
was laughing at that lady getting killed
Oh
by the
no, who did that?
Ooh,
Why would somebody do that?
man. I purposely joined 49er groups just
Oh,
to look
that's messed up.
what? Wow.
and just to
That's
look and be
that's sad.
petty.
That's sad. That's sad if somebody was even trying to go there
Yes,
like that
Yeah.
with
I
over
was.
social
I,
sensitive. That was
I looked at the lights and I saw all the laughing emojis. I was like, this is 40 some laughing emojis off
Nah,
of a
that's
person dying. That was crazy to me.
this
And
is social media,
it's a
man.
game. It's a
2020,
game.
man.
there's
Social
idiots.
media,
There's idiots out there.
they're
It's a
so
game.
desensitized. They're so desensitized, man. It's
It's
so
a
crazy. That stuff happened and it was barely being covered.
Yeah.
It was barely being covered.
We never want to hear stuff like that. That's not good. And
yeah,
it's
no
always
good.
sad when anybody lose their life over something crazy like
Yeah,
that. So,
man.
but
I'm gonna see y'all
gentlemen,
next year.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we all come
Sure.
back out here. We're gonna see y'all again and stuff. So we'll have you back on
I'm
for
gonna say
next
this
season. So
now.
we're looking
I don't
forward to
think we're
that.
winning next year. I don't think we're gonna win it next year. I would love it, but 3 in a row, that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
you guys been there the last freaking 5 years for crying out loud. I mean, I
Can't
don't,
be
the only thing I see stopping y'all is injuries. Like if something
Yeah, that's
keeps them out the whole,
if
anything keeps
something
Mahomes
happens,
out the whole year, then yeah, maybe not.
I
We don't
think we're
want
going
that
to
to happen, but I'm just saying.
finally have a rebuild year. We didn't have a rebuild year yet. This year's supposed to have been our rebuild year.
What a
We
rebuild.
won the Super Bowl, so
We
hopefully we can
rebuilding.
rebuild.
Hey, you got, like I said, you got a good organization, good coach, good quarterback,
Yeah.
and as long as you got those
I'm
things
happy for
intact,
Andy Reid too, man. People don't realize Andy Reid went to 4 NFC championships as well.
yep,
He
yeah,
went with the
he's had his
Eagles,
struggles. He had his
with the Eagles,
struggles early in
and
his
he lost
career.
Super Bowl and everything.
Yep.
So I'm happy for him, man. He deserves it. He's one of, to me, I like him better than Bill Belichick. To be honest with you, man.
Yeah,
I do.
It's different though, because Belichick's a defensive mind and Reed is an offensive mind. And then you think
Yeah.
about those Patriots defenses, because
I
Brady only had
never liked
147
Belichick.
yards passing in the first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That
I know.
defense,
You're
he
right.
got over like the first 3 or 4, man, easy.
yeah, that defense was holding them down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Then
they
Brady,
actually talked about that. They were talking about how they said the first 5 or 7,
6 years,
first
6
6
years
years,
was
it was like,
all Belichick's
yeah,
defense.
it
And
wasn't
Brady became
Brady.
Brady.
Brady
who
became,
knows? Who knows? Belichick might be our new defensive coordinator. I'm just saying.
please. That'll be the worst
I
thing
don't think
ever.
nobody wants.
I don't want him nowhere near us. I cannot stand him. Boy,
Oh, man.
I cannot stand that dude, man. For real.
Oh, we're
I
gonna
don't know
find
what
out
to
soon.
do.
Somebody's coming. So we'll keep up on the news, but we'll be back to
Yeah.
talk about all that. Me and Real will be back. So
And Eric B.
so keep listening. Guys, we might not even have shows for a little while on YouTube, but I want to try to keep our we have our podcast going on, audio podcast, which is doing well. And we still might go ahead and do our shows and talk some football and just have a good time. So again, I want to shout out Mar. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on again, Rio.
Indeed.
It's always real, brother. And most of all, the 49er faithful. Can I take him off here? A 49er faithful. Thank you guys for just supporting the channel. 49er Street Squad, Chili Will, man. Love you guys. Always showing the love. Thanks for tuning in. And again, subscribe, hit the like button, man. Keep showing the love, guys. hey, we got another exciting to look forward to, and it's going to be probably even more exciting than this year. But it's, you know how we do it. 49 Faithful, we always take it to another level, always. So it's your boy Chili Will, Nana Rio. We out. 49 Faithful. Get ready for another exciting season, man. We out of here.